Hey everyone, Dukin is here with the third video in my Gunslinger Viability analysis after the June update. Part 1 and 2, which covered grenades and throwing knives, are linked in the description, and I suggest you watch them before you watch this video. Today's focus is on the ability modifiers and the additional modifiers in the Gunslinger Skill Tree, starting with Keyhole. Some people swear by Keyhole, which effectively lets you get collateral kills with your golden gun if your targets are lined up. Although it has the potential to get some flashy multi-kills, I personally find that enemies in the Crucible don't line up and funnel through frequently enough to warrant its use, so I'm going to dismiss that right away. Another option is Gunslinger's Trance. This stacks stability improvements for each precision kill up to 3 times for 14 seconds. Ask yourself how often you manage 2 headshots in a 14-second span. I think a lot of us will agree we don't really do that consistently unless we're sniping, but in that scenario, a stability buff is really not helping you that much. So generally speaking, most of us are only going to utilize 1 stack for the majority of the time. So I went ahead and tested the effects of just 1 stack. This is footage of me firing a couple weapons with and without the buff. First, I just let the weapon fire freely, and then I actually try to control the recoil. Free firing, the difference is obviously noticeable. When you actually try and control the recoil, the difference is nominal, certainly not enough to warrant the use of an entire perk. I tested this with other weapons as well. I just left them out for timing purposes because I got to the same conclusion. So we're stuck with Scavenger, right? Wrong. You aren't stuck with it. You love Scavenger, and if you don't love Scavenger, pay attention because you're about to. Scavenger reduces the cooldown of your grenade and throwing knives when you pick up ammo, and this was buffed by 33% in the update. I want to show you how powerful this can be. So here I am in a Crucible game. I launch my throwing knife and my grenade to reset the cooldown. I then pick up a special box and boom, my abilities are charged by about 25%. Now if you noticed, I was already full on primary ammo, so the game only registered my character picking up special ammo, even though special boxes drop both. So I fire a shot for my primary, and I double back. Now that I'm under full capacity for primary, it registers my character picking up more ammo, and I get another 25% reduction. Now take a look at this clip. I double dip into the special box as I'm not full on either ammo. If you didn't know this, players can drop primary ammo when they die. So I then fire a shot for my primary and pick up another primary box laying on the ground, sneaking another 25% reduction. That's 75% plus the cooldown just from time passing, and my abilities are charged in 5 seconds. Your intellect, discipline, and strength does not impact the cooldown. You can optimize this perk by making a couple of gameplay adjustments. We just proved that even if you pick up 1 bullet of primary ammo, the perk activates. So if you're full on primary and you get a special weapon kill, fire a random shot from your primary, walk over your enemy's corpse, and the perk will trigger if they dropped ammo. Since the modifier does work this way, my recommendation is to make sure you are always short at least 1 bullet of primary ammo. That way, when you walk over ammo without noticing, your abilities are going to charge. I guarantee that if you make a conscious effort to keep wasting primary ammo for a couple of games, not only are you going to start doing this by habit, but you're going to notice your abilities charging way faster. In addition to forcing your primary ammo reserve below capacity, keep an eye out for the little white boxes in combat and make sure you get special ammo boxes as frequently as possible. I feel the same way about Chain of Woe that I do about Gunslinger's Trance. You simply won't activate the full potential of the perk enough to warrant its use in Crucible. For Chain of Woe to activate past the first stack, you have to get 2 headshots in 9 seconds. Even if you did activate more than 1 stack consistently, you've killed 2 or 3 players, so you probably have time for a full reload. Of course, you're going to get single headshots many times each game, so I tested the first stack's reload speed reduction with a few weapons, with and without the perk activated. You can see the change in reload speed as I put both situations side by side. Interestingly enough, the drop in reload speed on the first stack is almost identical to the effects of wearing a pair of gauntlets that reduces the reload speed of a specific primary weapon. You could use Chain of Woe with one of those pairs of gauntlets to get even more reload speed, but knowing this information, I still don't think the perk is very valuable in Crucible. There isn't a lot to say about Over the Horizon. It increases the range of the golden gun, but in Crucible you can only be so dead. So unless you're counting on coming across a ram-wearing, self-reviving Sunsinger who also happened to revive a teammate and simultaneously activated a flame shield while exiting an armor of light bubble, and you're shooting him from across the map, there isn't much use for this in the Crucible, so I'm going to rule it out. Again, process of elimination leaves us with the last modifier, Gambler's Dagger, and again, this is not a bad thing. Having an extra throwing knife always has the potential to come in handy, and you can spam them when combined with Scavenger, so definitely a viable option. Let's conclude. Chain of Woe and Gunslinger's Trance are a super fun combo in PvE. Both of them get extended for every precision kill, so although it only stacks 3 times, you can extend them for an infinite duration. You can spend minutes at a time with max reload and stability. But as I mentioned before, it's not a good PvP combination because the benefits of 1 stack are not significant and you likely won't activate more than 1 stack very often. Same for Keyhole, which is good for groups of adds, and Over the Horizon, which is good for hitting enemies from far away with your golden gun. Neither add enough value on a frequent enough of a basis to warrant their use in PvP. Process of Elimination leaves us with Scavenger and Gambler's Dagger, although I wouldn't say we're stuck with them as they're 2 great individual perks, but also work phenomenally well in tandem. This is because you can burn 2 throwing knives and have both recharge at a very fast rate if you leverage Scavenger well enough. Guys, that's it for the video and for the viability analysis on the Gunslinger. I hope you guys learned a couple of things, or at least feel better prepared when setting up your own Gunslinger build. I know not everyone is going to only use my recommendations, so definitely let me know what you disagree with in the comments below. I'm working on a full Gunslinger build that incorporates everything we talked about and a little bit more, just to kind of wrap up the series. So I'll show you guys a video of that breakdown and highlights of gameplay in a couple of weeks. But I think next week's video I'm going to get back to the Trials tutorial series. Until then, good luck with your Gunslinger. Dukin' us out.